on XFM 104.9.
Who are you?
Ricky Gervais, who are you?
Steve Merchant.
Who's that little round-headed fella
there
over
he
there?
is, Karl Pilkington.
Carl, we've had a lot of Carl today. He's a bit tired, aren't you?
Just a little bit.
What happened?
Bit annoyed
You
with
came back from Edinburgh today as well, didn't you, on the plane?
This morning.
Yeah.
Got an early flight.
Yeah.
It's just annoying me because there was like people on the plane fighting over where they wanted to sit.
Surely they've got designated seats.
Well, they have, but that wasn't good enough for them. They wanted to sit next to the friends and that. And it's like, well, you can't because you didn't check in together. So that's the way it is.
Yeah, done.
But the thing is, it's from Edinburgh, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand this sort of.
You can stand for that long, can't you?
Well, why do you have to sit next to the person anyway, to be honest? I mean, fair enough, if you're going on a long flight, someone to talk to, but for 40 minutes, it really doesn't matter.
I never want anyone to talk to. I don't want anyone sitting next to me to talk to me.
Why? What are they there for?
What? I don't mean people I go with. I mean if I'm travelling alone and I sit next to someone, I don't want them to talk to me.
Yeah, but I don't really know.
If I was travelling with you, I'd really not want you to talk to me.
Not if you're going to talk like this.
Yeah, this...
Carl, you sound like you're suicidal, mate. It was just a couple of people arguing. It's over, man.
Yeah.
The plane journey's finished. Why is it still stewing you up?
He paid 160 quid and he's not whinging, he doesn't care.
165 quid, let's get it right. If we're going to bring it up, if we're going to mention it.
And it's like orthodox back to him. He said to me, Rick, it's only money, and money is just something you have in case you don't die tomorrow. He's got a great attitude towards money, Steve. It's like, easy come, easy go. So just take a leaf out of Steve the I'm not spending that much merchant, and you'll have a happier life.
Sorry, I just need to defend myself for a minute. There are certain instances in life where, you see, you know you're giving me an attitude like that I'm tight. It's not tight. No, shut up. Let me defend myself. It's not that I'm tight with money. It's that I want to get value for money at all times.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you probably got a lot of cash given to you, maybe as pocket money when you were a kid. Every penny I've ever had is been money I've earned.
Yeah.
So frankly, I'm going to spend it wisely. Like, for instance, you might say you're in a party, or so you're at a party, maybe out in a bar with someone's birthday. You get talking to a girl, right? Maybe you buy her some drinks, right? You're chatting to her, and then you're chatting away for 2 hours, and then at the end of the evening, she says, "Oh, I got to go meet my boyfriend now." Right? She's wasted my money and my time there.
Yeah.
That's 2 hours wasted and money wasted, right? Now she should have told me straight away that she had a boyfriend, and I wouldn't have bothered with
Right.
her. I'd have moved on. I'd have looked on to her.
What if she thought she was just having a chat with another human being?
Though, Rick, where I'm being deliberately deceived, so people can extract money from me or interesting conversation.
Yeah.
She knew what I was after. It was obvious. The drooling mouth, you know, the beady eyes, and yet she was leading me on.
And she was a prostitute. And think how he felt about that. I mean, what a slap in the face.
Let's not try and cheapen it with that kind of cheap sexual innuendo, right? She had occasionally slept with me for money.
It wasn't for money, it was for meals.
Yeah. No, but the point was, do you know what I mean? It's just that sort of attitude generally in my life. It's like, don't waste my time, you know? Don't waste my time or my money. You're right, life is, the clock is ticking as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, and so just, if you've got a boyfriend and I come up and I'm chatting you up, just let me know and I'll move on. I won't bother you. Yes, please. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I feel they should definitely introduce some kind of badge system.
You see, the problem is that women without boyfriends will be wearing those badges now, and you won't be able to, you know what I mean? You won't be able to say, have you really got a boyfriend?
No, I just think there should be some kind of there should be an etiquette, there should be an understanding.
Yeah.
You know, because they know, they can see what I'm after. It's obvious.
Is it obvious, is it?
I make it very clear.
You're not a subtle man.
No, I just come over and pant.
Do you still try and attract their attention by throwing small rocks at them?
Yeah.
As they walk down has that ever worked?
Occasionally.
Is it really?
You know, the desperate ones or homeless ones.
Oh, the homeless ones. He once, right, he said to me, he came in to work and he said, I gave a homeless girl £1, right? Because I fancied her. He said, is that wrong? Is that really bad of me?
I don't think it is, you see. I don't think it is, because it seems to me if she was an attractive homeless girl and she deserved some of my money.
I just imagine him slowing down. I imagine him like going past loads of tramps going, get out of it, get a job. And she goes, hello.
But I have to say, I did for a moment just pause and think to myself whether I could kind of scoop her up in my arms, take her back to my place, and kind of turn her life around like My Fair Lady.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? And kind of teach her to speak properly and dress her up in smart clothes and take her out into sort of society.
Yeah. I think that's where your first mistake was. You said, listen, love, I'm up for it if I can hose you down. That was where you went wrong. Smith's, Cemetery Gates, great, wasn't it?
Always cracking.
Off Queen is Dead, voted best album of all time, I think, in an NME poll. I don't think it is their best album.
Strangers Here We Come.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Cracking.
Anyway, Carl, so people are arguing on the flight. How did you enjoy Edinburgh, by the way, anyway? Because I saw you up there briefly with you and Nick Frost, your new mates, Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. You know, he prefers them to us now.
I know, apparently, I could tell that from just talking to him, really.
It was the way he was sort of looking at them, everything, he was just smiling at Nick Frost. It's his new best chum. You love Nick Frost, don't
Would you have preferred it, right, if I went to Edinburgh and had to sit with some people that I really didn't like? Would you have been happier for me?
No, do you know, but...
So I had a great time with Simon and Nick, and they're nice people.
But he kept going to, oi, Nick, tell Ricky that story. And Nick and Simon, well, all it was, right, and their ghost stories, he loves them because they believe in ghosts.
Oh.
It's not just
they're
that.
great blokes with great sense of humour, just because they believe in ghosts. You go and tell them that, he goes, how do you explain that? I was going, well, I wasn't there. What was that one you told me and it was completely wrong? About the...
It was, oh yeah, right, it's years ago.
Oh, yeah.
In olden days.
Oh, sure.
When ghosts roamed the earth.
Once upon a time, you mean?
Yeah.
Some doctor or something who was into, like, the way bodies work. They got their head cut off.
Who did? The doctor?
Yeah, he was doing a bit of an experiment.
And he cut his own head off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was about, he said, when my head's in the basket, I'm gonna blink my eyes.
Right. Okay, sorry, hang on, let him finish.
And,
so the doctor has chopped his own head off, and he's told everyone, I'm gonna blink my eyes to prove that
he's in the basket, and he goes like, right, I'm gonna blink my eyes about, as many times as I can. So quick, count them. And they count, and he got to like 15 before he
Right,
died.
now this is how Carl told me that. Till Nick Frost explained that, Carl told me, he said, right, well, a bloke, right, he had his head cut off, and when his head was in the basket, he went, count how many times I can blink. And I went, well, that's rubbish. He went, no. And Nick went, well, no, he actually said, when my head's in the basket. He went, and Carl went, oh, I said, Carl, do you know the subtle difference? Do you see the subtle difference?
I have to say, though, guys, I still don't really understand what went on there. You've both lost me.
The story is that a bloke who'd been found doing,
You mean that Carl just explained it and that was a clear version? Because I still don't know what you're talking about, Carl.
Well, this bloke had his head cut off at experiments against God. He was a doctor in the, in olden times.
Yeah.
And when they cut his head off...
Why did they cut his head off?
Because it was...
he was executed.
Crimes against... Exactly, he was executed, yeah. And, he said to his assistant, when my head's in the basket, I'm gonna blink, count how many times I blink and write it down as an experiment, right? Carl told it to me, like, his head was cut off and he went in the basket, and when his head was in the basket, he looked up and said, count how many times I blink. Yeah. I love that. I love the difference in that story.
Yeah.
Both rubbish,
Yeah.
but, one's possible and one isn't.
You believe anything that you're told, except when we tell you the truth.
Right, here's one.
Christ.
Ghosts and that we got talking about.
Sure.
And Nick said, right, he said, you'll like this one. He said, my auntie was having loads of problems.
Why are you whispering? It's not illegal to talk about ghosts on the radio.
No, but
He's hearing this.
so the auntie's in the house and that, and furniture's moving about all the time.
Oh, God.
And they were like, no,
Steve, you told me this one. This is such rubbish, mate.
No, come on, let's listen.
I'm gonna leave it to you. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy it. I'm just gonna watch your face, Steve.
right.
Sorry, so I missed the beginning there, Carl. There's an auntie in the house.
Basically, Nick's auntie.
Right.
Yeah.
In the house, things moving around all the time, and it was just annoying every time she tidied up. It was like
It was just annoying.
making a mess.
It was one part annoying to two parts scary.
Yeah.
So stuff was moving around all the time, and they said, right, rather than
we need an housekeeper.
rather than having the house a mess, until we sort this out.
I've got the vicar coming round. Stop moving stuff around.
Oh, yeah, go on.
They said,
That shouldn't be in the pants drawer.
let's put all the furniture in one room, right? So just have one room that's a mess, and have all the others empty.
Because I love the poltergeist can't really... it can move wardrobes around, but it can't open a door to put it in another room.
Yeah.
Poltergeist going, oh, I'm just making this room messy. I wish someone would open the door so I could... Go on.
Yeah, but so all this stuff's in this room.
So they
right?
moved all their furniture into
Everything,
one
they
room.
put like the drawers in there and everything, and it was really uncomfortable because they were all like on top of each
They
other.
sat in the room with all the stuff.
Yeah, they had to, because that's where the three-piece suite was.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Right?
All right.
Oh, God.
So they sat there, right, all crumpled up and that, but nothing can move because it's so tight.
Yeah.
I think things were trying to move, but everything was so tight. It's
They
just like,
foxed that poltergeist.
So anyway, one night they sat there like sort of a bit awkward watching the telly and that, and they hear some banging
Yeah.
in the next room. So she goes, oh God, what's that?
Oh, he hadn't moved in, had he, the ghost?
So
To some of the empty rooms.
so there's this
He's
bang,
moved some friends and family in.
there's this banging about going on.
No,
so
listen to this,
she
Steve.
gets up Right.
Yeah.
And what it is, they had the baby in the next room because there wasn't much room for the cot.
Right, so they left the baby with the ghost.
So they go into the room where the baby is, and the banging
Yeah.
is like, do you know those plastic balls you get that you can chuck around the room and like they go mental?
Right.
The ones that you chuck once and
Yeah.
they keep bouncing
Yeah,
for
yeah,
ages.
yeah.
That was bouncing around the room.
Wow, what, the
Hitting
baby had thrown it?
Hitting all the walls, and the baby was there, stood in the cot, sort of laughing
Right.
and looking at the ball, and wherever it looked, the ball went.
Yeah.
And then she said, stop doing that.
Yeah.
And the ball just stopped.
Did it?
And it rolled a bit and stopped.
Right. So the baby had thrown the ball and it was watching it as it bounced around the room.
It wasn't throwing it, it was in control of it.
No, the point is, Steve, the baby has been doing it. It's been the baby all along.
The baby had been messing with the furniture. It was
So
the
it's
baby
a
that had the
super
power.
baby.
Yeah, it's the baby that had the power.
Special baby.
It's a baby that had the power. It's
What
a
power?
baby that had the power.
What-
the
what's
power
the power?
of telekinesis.
Right.
They were then trying to convince me that telekinesis was not like all the other stuff that I didn't believe in, but that was a science.
Right.
Telekinesis was possible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like ghosts and demons and all that sort of. Telekinesis is different.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
science.
But Nick's auntie saw it, and
I love the fact that you're telling me that someone else's auntie saw it. So I should be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I should be satisfied with that. I mean,
So does she still live in one room with all her possessions?
no, I think
the baby grew out of it, apparently.
it grew
The
up.
baby grew out of it.
So it doesn't use its telekinesis powers
No.
anymore?
Well, no, it's
No.
like in Carrie, innit? She was upset for a bit, and then she got over it.
Okay, I'm just going to say one thing, Carl. That was a film. Do you want to play a record or...?